Hello. I hope you're dealing with the shadow work moment that this pandemic thing has brought on us. It's pretty hard to not pay attention to our shadow work right now, and it really is what needs to be done. Doing your shadow work is going to set you free until the next time you have to do the shadow work again. Unfortunately, it never really ends. It keeps going on for a lifetime. I'm going through some shadow work moments right now. I thought I had this stuff healed. It was like, how can this even still be here? I've been a very functional adult for a long time now. and and I'm even doing my life work and helping people and making life better for a lot of people, and my life purpose is in full swing. So how could there still be this thing where I have to do shadow work on childhood stuff, even baby stuff? Well, I'm sure I'm not alone. Tell me about your shadow work stuff too in the comments if you like, because, sharing together and helping each other through these shadow moments, this shadow work, difficult shadow work that we have to do, that's really important for us to feel that we're not all alone during those moments. And you're not alone. I'm here. I answer all the comments, so I'm here to help you if you need a joke or, someone to feel compassionate for you going through it, or maybe even commiserate with you about how insane things are in the world. I agree. And but the shadow work, you cannot avoid it. If you try to avoid shadow work, it's not gonna work. You can't spiritual bypass your way out of shadow work. The shadow work is something that you heal when you're really deep in it. Every day you're crying, every day you're feeling sad, every day you're processing. What I would suggest is, if you're in that phase, take breaks. Maybe say work on it for 2 hours a day and no more. And then the rest of the time, just be this spirit, be this person who can enjoy the moments, and don't be in a process all the time. The other thing I would suggest is that if you are facing some things from the past that you thought you were already over, then let them be there and don't panic. Doesn't mean you're going back into a depression, a shadow work depression again. It doesn't mean that you're going to lose your happiness. I have to say, I haven't been as happy during this pandemic as I used to be before the pandemic, but maybe that's because I was more distracted from my shadow work. So let your shadow work be there. Let the stuff that you have to do be there right now, because this is the time you're setting up the next phase of your life. This whole thing's been like a pause button. This past series of videos I've been doing is about how this pause button is a real blessing, and it's a chance to recreate yourself and set up a whole new life and set up a whole new future. And if you can walk into that future without some of these things from your shadow, your past, and you do your shadow work, then you're going to have a better future. It's going to be better. So face the shadow work. Sit down and go in there willingly. Go willingly. Don't resist. Don't keep trying to make it so that you're denying, or shall we say spiritual bypassing. I'll do another video about spiritual bypassing, when it's useful and when it's not, because it does have its usefulness in certain times, particularly in breaking habits, emotional and mental habits. But when you're facing a real shadow work moment and you have to just really go in there and you have to heal this thing, or if you don't, you're going to suffer for a long time, it's better to just face it. It's better to just go in there and let's do this. All right, we got this. Let's do this now. And when you do that, you actually take the pressure off when you're trying to avoid your shadow work, which many of us try. I'm guilty too. When you try to avoid your shadow work, then you actually put a lot of pressure on yourself. It takes actually more effort to avoid shadow work than it does to actually do it. So let's just do this. Every single one of us, let's just face whatever's not healed in us. It's come up, and it's a more subtle level than it was when it first came up. The first time you're healing some traumas or abuses or whatever it is that's in the past that's troubling you, or fixing some kind of faulty, flawed programming that you got from childhood. When it first comes up, it's usually pretty dramatic, and it occupies all your consciousness and your time. After a while, it's just more subtle levels, and it's like you go around in a circle, and then you face that problem again, and then you solve that, and then you spiral to another level, and then you go around in life, and of course there's other things you meet, and then you face that one again. You're there again, but it's at a different level. It's a more subtle level. It's actually a higher level, so it's not so bad. It's not nearly as bad as it was when you first had to work on healing it. So the best thing to do is to tackle it head on, go through it instead of trying to go around it. Oh wow, we never get traffic on this road. A little guy on a motorbike's going around. Get down there. Oh wow, look at the mountains. Oh my gosh, I gotta show you guys this. I have to say, I can't complain about where I am in the world right now, even though we don't have any work and we can't do. It's a little challenging with the money, and well, a lot challenging with money, but because well, I won't go into that. But anyway, look at those mountains. Even if it's challenging during the pandemic times, notice the beauty around you. I always like to take a walk right around sunset so that I can enjoy the changing of the guard from the sun to the night. And I actually have to say, I like walking at night with the stars and the moon, and it's so beautiful. And I'm lucky to have a place to do it. So if you can get so lucky, do it. Okay, so back to the shadow. What was I talking about? Sorry, this is a little bit more of a scattered video than normal, but because there's a little bit of distraction. So much beauty everywhere. But in the shadow sides of your work, when you have to do the shadow work, let it be okay. Let it be there. Don't panic. It's okay. You don't have to panic that because you have to do some shadow work now. Do your shadow work. Let it be there. Face the emotion that's come up and ask, what is this emotion here to teach me right now? What is this, excuse me, the message from this emotion? And heal that baby. It's really that simple. And really, healing is letting go. It's not really fixing anything. It's really just letting go of resentments and disappointments and fears and failures or whatever. It's really about just letting go. That's what real healing is all about. And so do your shadow work. Don't resist. Resistance is futile when it comes to shadow work. And oh gosh, I gotta show you these mountains again. Look at that. Oh my gosh, I even though I'm in the midst of doing all my shadow work, I can appreciate the beauty. You can too. So always look for what's beautiful, and give yourself times of the day that you're going to do the shadow work and times when you're not. I have learned, and I've done a lot of shadow work in my life, so I'm a professional now. And one thing I've learned is to give yourself breaks from it. Choose 1 or 2 hours, maybe 3 at the most if it's heavy duty stuff and you want to get through quicker, or 4, or whatever is right for you. Choose like a work day time for your shadow work hours, and then take the rest of the time off and just be a regular person. sit down, meditate, journal, listen to meditations, read self-help books, whatever it is that you got to do to get the answers to how to heal yourself. And then the rest of the time, don't think about what you have to heal. Don't think about your shadow work that has to be done. So, all right, over and out. Just wanted to pass that tip on. Something I'm working on. We'll do it together. Talk to you in the comments.